Hello, beautiful shining souls. My name is Jostine, Intuitive Life Guide from the Philippines. Welcome back to my channel. So, for today, I thought, let me try a different kind of medium once again. So, instead of doing a video, let me do an audio and then just put this on a, I don't know, I'll choose a some photos, or maybe I have a stock video, or we'll see. But anyway, let me just play with this and see how it goes. um you know Here's a little trivia. Before, I was actually thinking of starting a podcast, because I thought that, okay, I felt the invitation to use the power of my speaking voice, but I don't know if I want to do it in a video vlog style. It is easier to just hit record on my phone recorder, voice recorder. I don't need to like set up the lighting. I don't need to like prepare myself in terms of, I'm not really beautifying, like doing much on the beautifying side because I don't do makeup. So, okay, I was only doing a minimal thing, but still, like being in front of a video is like it takes more energy compared to just, speaking and recording my voice, right? And so I thought that, okay, let me do a podcast. But so I already have an account on Anchor, but for some reason the energy is not alive there. Fast forward to this month, and I felt the pull to do the video a day project, and so here we are at YouTube. Funny how life works, right? Anyway, so having said that, why did I come to that? Oh yeah, because now I'm going to just see how this will go. Who knows? Maybe after doing this, I'll do more podcast style. I actually have to research like what is the difference between a podcast and a vlog. I mean, other than the format of video and just audio. Like, is there anything else that I need to be aware of? I don't think so. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud now. Yeah, so that's a very brief trivia for you. So moving on to the main program, um, I wanna. So I was actually contemplating this earlier today because yesterday when I shared about the talk about my Get Aligned Deep Dive coaching program, or actually, I wouldn't say the program because it's just one session, and it's really like purely coaching conversation. Anyway, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, I was thinking about personality types because I mentioned about how I believe that we each have our own path, and we really, like, there's no cutter, all all size fits all. I'm butchering those those sayings. I'm so sorry, those metaphors. Like my mind is just another reason. Another reason that I'm doing the audio right now. Like my mind is just like, oh, it's so hot here in the Philippines right now. Like the heat is just like my mind is just not working, and it just wants to take a break, And then I tried napping in the afternoon, but it's so hot. I cannot take a proper nap. Anyway, so, so just sharing a little bit about how it is here in the Philippines right now. It's hot. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So anyway, personality types. So I wanna share about my love for personality types. You've heard me if you've been watching, if you've watched my previous videos, if you're following me on Facebook, if you're part of my email community, you'll know most likely that I always, well, not always, but I often allude to my personality type. It's either like I'm Enneagram 9, the peacemaker, 9-wing 1, and intentionally tapping into my wing 8 from time to time. MBTI, I'm an INFP-A, which is the mediator. And for, if you're familiar with human design, I'm a 1-4 alchemist or generator. And yeah, like those are the top three, I'd say, self assessment tools. But just saying that, it's just, that's just a surface level. It's much deeper than that. It covers like the holistic aspect of a person, like when you bring them all together. Yeah. And I'm a Virgo, Sun, Moon, Scorpio, ascending, rising. I'm not familiar with astrology, but I thought I'd share it anyway. And then when I checked my, is it Vedic astrology, I'm a Sun, Moon, Libra, and I'm sorry, Sun, Moon, Leo, and then Libra rising. Uh, and for those who are not familiar with all of that, you might be wondering, what the heck is she talking about? So I wouldn't like talk, like go deeper into what each personality means because that will be a longer discussion. And like personally, I'm not prepared. Like I need to have my cheat codes in front of me just so I can just read it and then share about my own personal experience around that. What I'm trying to say here is, what I want to share with you from all of this is that, I love personality, taking personality tests, any self discovery assessments, because it, reading about the description, it was like, whoa, this is like describing me to the T. More or less. Mostly describing me to the T, meaning that, oh my gosh, I'm not weird, I'm not alone, I'm not like, there's nothing wrong with me. Like here it is, like it's, it gives a sort of validation, right, to who I am and what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. Not that we need external validation, but the funny thing is that sometimes we do need to hear it from other people, reflecting them back to us. And then there's an internal like spark and recognition and remembering that, oh yes. And that's when we strengthen our own self-validation. It's a funny thing, right? So anyway, so that's why I love personality, like self discovery tools, like the MBTI, Enneagram, human design, astrology, and all the, the quizzes that are so popular in social media. Oh, numerology. I'm a life path 11. Anyway, but my point here is that sometimes this is such a long way of this is such a long discussion, but really my point here is this. Even though I love recognizing, seeing myself in this personality assessments, in the self-discovery assessments and tools, I also am very clear that I am not just those personalities, those, like, whatever the description is. It's not about putting ourselves in a box. Rather, it's about learning, remembering who we are, and using those as a stepping stone, as a starting point, so that we can evolve and discover who else, right? Who else is hiding in the layers of conditioning and programming that we received since we were born, right? So that is really what those self discovery tools are all about. It's not about, you know, saying that, okay, I'm an introvert. So, and like one of the common, like really introverted, being an introvert means that, we gain energy when we're spending alone, versus extroverts, they gain more energy when they are with other people. Like for us introverts, when we are in a social setting, it's really draining, right? And so, but there's an exception, because, like, if we are in I call this the energy plus people, because being with them, they give me more energy, right? These are the people that I truly resonate with. We go deep into our conversation. It's really life giving. It's energy plus conversations, right? Not the surface level, like just, all negative talks. Or anyway, I am so sorry. Like, this is so messy. Like, I'm just hearing myself. I was like, what is the point of all this? Anyway, so anyway, yeah, being an introvert, right? So I gain energy being alone. So for some, I mean, okay, sorry, no judgment here, okay? I don't know the situation of the person. Like, this is in no way to shame another, like, person, but this is just for us to reflect upon, okay? Because it is so easy for us, once we have identified in a certain label, to use that as an excuse to do things or not do things, right? Like, for example, okay, well, I'm an introvert, and so, like, I don't really want to socialize, so I'll just stay in my cocoon and hide, right? But here's the thing: introversion, extroversion, they're not boxes. That is a spectrum, meaning that you can slide your way along the spectrum, right? And you can challenge yourself, right? Lovingly challenge yourself to expand your comfort zone. Don't think it as going, like, for me personally, I don't see it as going outside my comfort zone. Like, now I'm expanding my comfort zone, right? And when you're expanding your comfort zone, of course it will be difficult in the beginning, because you're just, you're doing something new, and that will be not comfortable because it's not yet natural with you. Like, I will kid you not, when I was still a student, like, give me all the tests I would take all the tests. Just don't put me, like, call on me during recitations because I blank out. I don't get into the habit of raising my hands in class because I don't like reciting. I don't like giving reports, and I don't like being called on the spot to recite an answer. Like, oh, that was a very stressful time for me. But look at me now. I mean, right? Like, I am doing this. I have spoken in a large group setting, and whenever there's like social gatherings, I go out and meet new people. And there was a time, just to give a practical example, right? Before, I remember during the orientation, college orientation, and we were in the auditorium, and my seatmate, we were there for the whole day, and I kid you not, I did not speak to my seatmate for the whole day. I was just quiet in my own space because my thinking before is that if you don't speak to me first, I will not speak to you. That's how I was before. But then, over the years, when I started expanding my comfort zone, especially when I was starting to attend classes and programs, seminars, workshops, and all that, like, I would challenge myself, okay, Justine, just speak to one person. It doesn't even have to be a full conversation. Just say hi, introduce yourself, ask their name. That's it. You don't need to force yourself to have a full conversation with that person. Just say hi and introduce yourself. That's it. And you're good. We're good. And so that's how I started. And then for the next once I was comfortable with that, okay, the next challenge is, okay, Justine, now try to be in a more meaningful conversation with just one person. You just get to know that person, right? And be curious about them. Ask them questions, right? Or like, if there are discussion, share your thoughts, because before I just observe and listen. That's my go-to. Now, like, I challenged myself. Okay, just share even just one line without being asked first. Okay, with, like, just give your viewpoint, like your thoughts, and that's it. And then from there, I slowly, steadily expanded my comfort level in speaking up, in talking to other people, in conversing with other people, especially strangers, right? And so that's the thing, right? We If we are too attached with the identities, with the labels that we have, then it limits our growth, right? It limits our growth. And so, the invitation here, after all of this, this is my invitation. Whatever label or identity you're holding on to, I invite you to lovingly challenge yourself and ask, how can I evolve from this? How can I expand my comfort zone? How can I discover more of my becoming, of who else I could possibly be, and then play with that. All right, so that's it for me. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if this is so messy and imperfect, but you already know that about this. And so thank you for listening, and I hope that after all of that rambling, you got something out of this. And if you found this valuable, please give it a thumbs up. If you feel like subscribing to my channel, that would really help me in growing my channel. So thank you. And if you feel that this would be valuable to share, please feel free to share. And I invite you to join my email community if you want more engagement and other inside scoops. So that's about it. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and light.